Carol from Russia.
Sheikh, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, I have a question with regards to the gelatin. I have read that scientists say that there is no istihala occurring with gelatin. I live in a Christian country, so my question is, will the basic principle of meats of Ahlul Kitab be applicable to gelatin? As gelatin can be done in a halal way, without pork and dead meat, etc. Also, is trying to avoid it is going to extremes, because the Prophet did not avoid the meat of the people of the book. For context, trying to avoid it is really difficult.
Yeah, Carol. Why are you doing this? Driving over the speed limit and crossing the double white line, which means that you should not cross. You are entitled for one question, akhi. And you go like over 100 miles per hour and not abiding by the speed limit and crossing people, endangering your life and my life. You're entitled for one question. As per the gelatin issue, yes, it is an issue of dispute. Some scholars say there is no istihala. What is istihala, by the way? Istihala is total transformation from one entity to the other. So if a dog falls into a salt pit and dies eventually, and we come after 6 months, we dig and try to look for the remains of the dog, and it's gone. The dog itself turned into salt. Should we render the whole salt pit to be najis? No, because the dog has been transformed totally, nothing remains, into a different entity. If we irrigate an apple tree with sewer water, and then 3 months later we take the apple and tastes urine. No, it tastes good. It tastes like an apple. Should we say that, no, this is najis, we can't use it? The answer is no, because the water, the najis water, has been transformed into something halal. The guts of a cow, where it has the digested food and the likes, that turns from blood and filth into pure milk. This is transformation. This is halal, and the likes. So the concept of istihala is found in the books of fiqh. Some scholars say that gelatin undergoes a rigorous and a very harsh process of transformation from pork, dead meat, bones, skin, and the likes into this gelatin, physically, chemically, totally transformed. And the hardship that we see in our lives when we buy medicine, when we buy candy, when we buy foods, when we buy different eatables, with the presence of gelatin in it, this hardship of being unable to segregate renders the issue to be eased and softer, as this is the concept of Islam. Other scholars say, no, it doesn't change, it doesn't transform, and we have. So it's an issue of dispute. I personally follow the opinion that says it has transformed totally, and the ease of Islam makes it, or makes life easy to consume these things that we cannot pinpoint and say for certainty that this is pork, this is dead meat, these are bones of dead animals. We can't, because it's different. It's a total different material and substance. Can we follow the concept, and this is your second question, though I'm not supposed to entertain it. Can we, if we follow the latter opinion that says no, there's no transformation, can we say that the gelatin in these countries like Europe, America, that are Christians, or Russia, that are Orthodox Catholics or Orthodox Christians, can we say that it is halal like the meat slaughtered there because they're Ahlul Kitab, the people of the book? The answer is no. If you follow the latter that says there's no transformation, because they use meat, but they also use pork, and they also use blood and haves and hate and the likes and the skins, which is not halal because there's no transformation. So I personally follow the first opinion, which says there is, and Allah knows best.